me a great pleasure to welcome all of you to today's webinar, Move Beyond Bugs, Testing Solutions for Optimizing Product Quality. Testing has traditionally been regarded as a curative solution to improve product quality. In reality, it is more than a quick fix solution to enhance a product. Testing, besides enhancing a product's quality, also improves the business value derived out of a product. To make this webinar more easy for all of us to follow, please take a look at the housekeeping instructions. All phones have been set to mute. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat window located beside the presentation panel. We have already received several questions from our registrants, which will be answered by the speaker during the question and answer session. We will continue to collect more questions during the session as we receive, and will try to answer them during today's session. In case if you do not receive answers for your questions today, you will certainly receive the answers via email shortly. Thank you for your participation and enjoy the session. Let me briefly introduce Aspire. Aspire is a thought leader in outsourced product development, and testing is one of our key service offerings. We have helped our clients achieve more than 1,050 product releases to date. We have more than 80 plus customers and 475 product tiers. Over the last 6 years, Aspire has achieved more than 63% compounded annual growth rate. We have offices in Chennai, which is our offshore development center, and also at San Jose and London. Aspire is an ISO 9001-2000 certified company. You could also look into the awards won by Aspire. Now, I would like to introduce and invite our presenter tonight, Anant Krishnamurthy. Anant heads the Independent Verification and Validation Services at Aspire Systems. He has had more than 10 years of professional experience in product testing and has spent a substantial amount of time in test automation efforts. He heads the testing practices at Aspire and also has developed PropelQ automation framework and the IQA approach. He has helped their clients in crashing their testing times while reducing their IQA costs. Anant has authored several articles and has presented several webinars. He has also built a test automation ROI calculator and a QA budget calculator for the QA community, which have been well appreciated by many ISVs. I would now like Anant to take over the presentation.
Thank you, Sushma. Hello, everyone. Thanks for taking your time to participate in this webinar. So during this webinar, I would like to talk about the testing solutions for optimizing product quality. Being a product services company, and testing is one of our core services. In today's session, I would like to share the process, the tools, and the best practices that we have at our organization, which was well implemented for many of our customers and helped them to reduce the defect leakage. Besides, we crashed the testing time frame and the QA budget. So I would like to demonstrate the solutions that we have implemented, and also the tools, which is our test automation framework, PropelQ, and the QA budget calculator, and the test automation report. So these are all the few things that I would like to share during this webinar. I hope this will be useful for you. Please post your questions during this webinar. I would be glad to answer all your questions. Okay, let me start this presentation. So with the challenges in product testing, in the last 10 years, we have come across many challenges when we worked with many of the independent software vendors. In our experience, we have worked one and only with product companies, and the core challenge with the product companies are dynamic business requirements. Generally, product evolves a lot over the period of time. when the product companies come up with the strategy to build the product, they will come up with the initial prototype, and then the product evolves over the period of time. Since the product need to address various customer requirements, and when the product evolves, there will be lots of enhancements will be done in the system according to the various requirements. If you take any specific product, they'll be customizing the product for various customers besides the core product they used to maintain. So the requirement will be always dynamic. That is going to be the key challenge, and the transformation of the requirement. So generally, the business requirements will be written by the business analyst, and the product management team will convert it as a technical requirements along with the design team, architect team, and development team, and then finally it should meet the end user requirements. So the transformation process should be well understood by all the stakeholders. If for example the QA does not understand the business requirements, technical requirements, and end user requirements, it would be really difficult to meet the end user requirements. And the documentation, again, documentation generally, since the product evolves a lot and quite frequently, generally the product companies may not be able to have the requirement specification in place. And the communication between stakeholders, since the various stakeholders involved from business analysts, architect, and then development team, QA, implementation team, so everyone should be on the same page with the requirements. If the business analyst does not put down the requirements clearly, and if the technical team changes the requirements, if it is not revert back to the business requirements, then there will be a flaw in the system. So the communication should be well established within the stakeholders, and then only it will give the adequate test coverage. And moreover, the domain knowledge and the necessary training should be given to the people. Then only they will be able to really think from the end user perspective, and they can come up with innovative ideas to improve the product. The next key challenge is the technology trends. The current technology trends more of web services, SOA, SaaS. So these kind of technology trends plays a major role in the product testing. Many of the companies migrate to SaaS. So the testing team should really understand how the technology takes place when the product got built. See, if there are web services that need to be tested, the testing team should know how one should test the web services, how the SOA can be tested, how the SaaS product can be tested, because SaaS has various maturity models. Then the testing team should know how the SaaS application works, and they should be able to test it. And the development methodologies, there are various methodologies, upcoming methodologies. Agile is the current trend now, and then test-driven development and model-driven development. So these are all the development methodologies that the testing team should know. Then these challenges can be well taken care by the QA team. So why these are all the challenges at this point of time is generally, as a traditional software development methodology, the testing is considered as the last phase of development, last phase of software, product development life cycle. So since the testers get into the final phase, they will not have adequate time to test the product with the required system, and the product cannot be regressed completely. So if they get involved from the scratch, from the requirement stage itself, they will be able to easily test the product from the scratch, and they can test the product completely, and they will have enough time to do the regression testing. So look at, if the testers does not involve from the scratch, from the beginning of the, from the requirement phase, what would happen? How the cost is, how the cost will be accrued due to the delay in bug discovery. If the testing team involved in the requirement stage, and find the bugs in the requirement stage itself, then it will not take any cost to fix the bug. Suppose if the bug is found in the design stage, then it would take just $1 to fix the bug. If the bug is found in coding stage, then it would take $10 to fix the bug. If the bug is found in system testing, then it would take just $100 to fix the bug. If the bug is found in the user acceptance testing phase, then it would take $1,000 to fix the bug. Suppose if it is found in the live production server, then the cost will be really high. The maximum cost it will take to fix the bug when it found in the production server. So this data is derived from the International Association of Software Architects, and this will give this gives an idea why the testing needs to be done from the initial development phase itself. And that is how Aspire work along with its customer, so that the testing team can be proactive enough to understand the product requirements, and then they can deliver the quality. So now coming to the QA, the independent QA is most important. Why independent QA is most important is, most of the time, according to the traditional software development life cycle, the testing is the last phase of development life cycle, so that they will not have the visibility of the requirements, how it is built, how the system is designed, and how the coding is done. Finally, they will just do the functional part of the testing, and then due to the lack of time frame, they used to deliver the product with lots of bugs. Finally, they will be the one who blamed when there is a defect in the production server. But generally, the company spent 40% of their project budget to testing. So just think, does your team really functioning as independent of development team as rest of the functions like marketing or sales? What happens is, if the testing team works along with the development team, the priority of the testing will be really less. Just think, if they are independent and if they have a process in place, then there are lots of advantage for the testers to continually test the product, and they will be able to deliver the results according to their process, which is most important. Otherwise, the dependency will always be high with the development team, and the testers will not be able to complete their testing, and they will be finally delivering the buggy product. And they have and then test the source code in early stages. I mean, this is another most important part. What happens is, many of the companies use the testers only for the QA period time. So the QA period time will be enough to do the regression testing. But the QA period is only for regression testing and not doing the functional testing. So if the testing team work along with the development team from the scratch, for example, if there are 10 modules need to be developed, if the development team completes the first module, they can create the build and give it to the testing team. They can test that particular module and they can log the bug, so that in the early stage itself, the bug can be fixed. Otherwise, we will accumulate all the 10 modules, and finally when we do the testing, there will be lots of bugs, and then the development team has to prioritize the bug, and we have to deliver the product as a buggy product. So the build process mechanism, which is the best practice at Aspire, we follow with our customers, and this helps us to use the QA period effectively only for regression cycle and not doing the functional testing. And then test with various permutation and combination of test data. For example, if the product requires 400 set of test data, how we can effectively use those test data and do the testing. So most of the times, due to the constraint, we will prioritize the first 100 sets or 50 sets of the test data, and we used to leave out the rest of the test data. So we have to find out some techniques how we can effectively use the 400 pairs. If you look at the all pairs testing, that is one of the effective testing that we can use, and we have implemented successfully in many of our customer engagements. And test the features independently and as an integrated system. As as I mentioned before, if we have to test all the 10 modules, we can work along with the development team, test the modules independently, and whenever, according to the development plan, they integrate each and every module, we can also do the integration testing, and finally we can perform the system testing. So every stage of development can be tested effectively, and we can detect the bugs in the early stage itself. During the system testing, we can spend our time to test the product in every hardware and software configuration. Where in the product testing, the difference between product testing and application testing is to make sure all the end user requirements are met. So when end user comes, we have to take multiple operating systems, we have to take care of multiple browsers, so multiple servers. So these are all the configuration that need to be taken care. And we have to, the most key portion is we have to test every way in which the user might try to use the product. In the next slide, I explain how this can be taken care, and the most important, test the business workflow of the product. So this also we can taken care by the IQA approach, that is the solution that currently we have implemented for our customers. So what is the unique proposition for optimizing product quality from Aspire Systems? We have we provide 3 different solutions for our customers. One is integrated quality approach, which we call it as IQA. This is designed to assure the test coverage to reduce the defect leakage. And then Propel Q. This is a test automation framework designed for script development and execution to reduce the automation cost by 20 to 30%. Test automation is always considered as an investment. So it is very important to measure how soon we can get the returns and how effectively we can reduce the test execution time. And then performance testing, where we have the set of NFRs, which is non-functional requirements, and we used to benchmark and combining all these 3 solutions, make sure that the product is meeting the customer requirements, and then we deliver the product to the end user. So using these solutions, we optimize the product quality. Let's look at each and every solution that we provide. IQA. So what is this IQA all about? It is a platform. It is a platform to collaborate extensively with all stakeholders to achieve quality. So for example, if you take business analyst is the one who writes the requirement specification. They extensively work along with the end users and collect the requirement specification, and then they will put it as a business requirement specification. So they know very well what kind of scenarios the end user will operate with the product. So if the QA team talk to the business analyst, they will provide the inputs on what kind of end user scenarios that can be operated during various scenarios. So that is the most important scenario that should be captured by the QA. Otherwise, the QA will just look at what is written in the technical requirement specification. They will just check along with the product, and they will do the testing. This will leave out many of the end user bugs. And if you take product manager, the product manager knows how the product is built. The product management team build the architecture of the product. For example, what kind of web services need to be tested, where they have used Ajax, so that the performance testing can be taken care properly. How the product is going to integrate with the third-party product. For example, if the product is going to be integrated with a ERP and a SAP, so what kind of parameters the testing team should consider to test it with the ERP and the SAP system. So the third-party integration system and the internal system that need to be taken care by getting the input from the product managers. The development team, as soon as they build the source code, the QA team can work along with them and then ask them to review the test cases they have written, collect their inputs, and they can effectively do the black box testing. And beta testers is the one who actually work as a who will do a real-time test. So the QA team can talk to the beta testers from them, and then they can simulate the test cases along with the test data, and they can perform the testing. This will give the real-time test data, and we can capture the bugs with the test data. Because many of the times, almost all the times, the QA team will work with dummy test data that they have. But the beta testers, they will give the real-time scenario along with the real-time test data, which can be captured, and then this can be executed during the user acceptance testing. So when the beta testers test after the user acceptance testing, they will not find many bugs. So the product will be really stable. Likewise, the implementation team and the support team will know what kind of end user experience, because support team will always receive calls from the end user will have many questions, so that the support team can give the end user experience, how the product can be designed, what kind of shortcuts we need to follow, what kind of concerns have the customer. So the testing team should collect data from all these stakeholders, and they can come out with their real-time test scenarios, and if we execute those test cases, then the system can be well built, and the product will be delivered with excellent quality. So this is how Aspire assures reduced defect leakage, and this saves reworking cost and investment on innovation. So we always tell our customers to give the builds of the product every week, so that we always work along with the development team and log the bugs in the defect tracking tool, so that from the requirement stage itself, so that we will use the QA period effectively for regression testing. And this will help the QA team as an integral part of development, and it maximizes the test coverage and removes the risk in the release cycle. Also, we can measure the product quality at each and every stage. For example, when we are doing testing, if we find unit testing level bugs, we can immediately tell the development team to fix the unit testing bugs. So the process will be continually improved to deliver the overall product quality. So this is how we perform testing for all our customers. So if you ask how this can be implemented, how is it possible to implement? Okay, all would have heard about the open source test case management tool called TestLink. TestLink is one of the good test case management tool that we have come across and we have implemented for many of the customers. So this test case management tool helps us to keep the test cases repository in a single place, so that all the stakeholders can log into the test case management tool. They can review the test cases and they can provide the inputs. So this is how we can improve the quality of the test cases, and then we can deliver the quality. At Aspire, we have used TestLink, and also we have built a system called IQA, and this is a value addition to all our customers from Aspire systems. So I just demonstrated about how we do the functional testing. Let us move on to the test automation, which is most important. Until now, test automation is considered as an investment, and this investment is considered because there is a long regression testing need to be done. So to reduce the regression testing time frame and remove the people dependency, test automation is considered as a considerable investment, and it is worth to invest. But that if you look at today's technology trend, agile development methodology, people used to automate the sprint 2-week sprint immediately, so that the test scripts can be accumulated and we can effectively use the previous sprint by test automation and to do the current sprint by manual testing. But when we build the PropelQ test automation framework, we have considered how this PropelQ test automation framework can be implemented with all the test automation tool available in the market. So today, if you look at, there are commercial tools, there are open source tools like Selenium, Water, and commercial tools like Test Complete, QTP, Rational Functional Tester. So those are all the tools commonly and widely used in the market. And also when we build this framework, generally people tend to look at the framework for building scripts, but at the same time there is considerable amount of time to spend the execution of test script also, because we are not going to execute the test automation scripts all the test automation script each and every time. Suppose if I have 100 features and the scripts are built for 100 features, I may not run all the scripts, all the 100 scripts each and every time. So I may randomly select the first 10 scripts or the last 10 scripts, or a combination of randomly choosing the scripts. So the test script need to be independently executed at any point of time. So there are lots of batch scripts that need to be so the test scripts will be built along with the batch scripts. Today, if you take QTP, quality center, the quality center, the QTP test cases can be executed through quality center, but the development team should plan how the scripts can be executed independently. Otherwise, the script execution will take lots of time. So we have considered how we can bring down the test execution time frame. So that is also considered in our propulsive test automation framework, and also we came up with a plugin for integrated development environment. For example, Visual Studio. If the development team wants to execute our test automation script, then we have provided a plugin in the Visual Studio so that the development team also can use our test automation management tool. So all these three components forms our test automation framework PropelQ. So let me explain all these three components one by one. This is our test automation framework. This is just an approach to build the test automation script, so that when you have a 5 people team or 10 people team or at least number of 3 people team, so the uniformity will be there in building the script, and also we can identify the reusable component and reduce the script development time frame. So there are 4 components. There are 4 core components in our test automation framework, but the driver script is the key component. The driver script is going to drive the complete test automation script execution. This driver script will get the data from control file, and then it will give the required whichever the scripts that need to be executed in whichever the configuration. For example, if you want to execute only 5 features in IE7 and Firefox, the driver script, the user can use the driver script and select the test script, and this driver script will execute the script by getting the test data in the application under test. So this is the common part of the test automation framework, but the workflow driver is the key component in our test automation framework. So what we do is we will abstract the common features implemented across the product. For example, if you take a SaaS-based product, any particular form can be implemented into into various customers. So we can write the workflow driver script and put down the functionalities in an Excel sheet, and we can customize that Excel sheet accordingly. The driver script will will get the data from the Excel sheet and then drive the complete script. So that is what all about workflow driver. This is very specifically we built it for SaaS-based application. Let me show one of the example where we have implemented this workflow driver. Okay, if you look at this workflow driver, this is a simple Excel sheet, and we have listed down the test case name, login, and capture balance and capture quantity, and this is the workflow of the particular feature or functionality. So the driver script will read the test case name, get the input, and then execute this particular script. If you look at the script, we have given what is the screen name, what kind of object type, and what kind of object ID, what is the label, and what is the action. Tomorrow, if you are going to change the object type or object ID, all you need to do is you just have to enter the object type and object ID, and it will be the execution will be well taken care. So that is the objective of this workflow driver, And for again I'm saying for SaaS based application or where you can abstract the common features, you can use this workflow driver. And also from the execution team, it will be easy for them to work along with the script. They don't need to touch the script at all. All they have to do is they have to go to the workflow driver, change whatever the workflow that they need, and then the script will take care of executing the script. And test automation management tool, which is we built in our organization. We built this test automation management tool using .NET, which runs on IIS web server. So the basic idea of this test automation management tool is when we build the script, we can easily select the script that need to be executed. Let's look at give me one moment. Let me yeah. So it's getting opened. In the meantime, let me explain what is this test automation management tool. So we look at this test automation management tool for the user who can execute the script by selecting the respective feature, and they can schedule the scripts. So if the build is ready at 1 a.m. Every night, we can schedule the script at 1:30. We can schedule the script at 1:30 a.m. and automatically it will be taking care of the execution. It is similar to Quality Center, but this has enhanced feature like you don't need to spend too much of time on writing the batch scripts. That's the advantage of this test automation management tool. I am just trying to open this test automation management tool. Give me 1 second. So okay. So let me show this test automation management tool at the end of this session. And this is the IDE that I spoke about. We built the IDE. We built the plugin for the Visual Studio IDE. You can integrate this with your build process. For example, you can integrate the smoke test script in the build process, so that it will directly reach the smoke test scripts. Once it runs, the build will be delivered to the test automation team, and they can execute the regression test scripts. How this Propel Q, how it works? So how it works is the test automation management tool. The test automation management tool, you can select the test scripts, and the test scripts are built using test automation framework. We have a standard test script development methodology, and we have we will check in all the test scripts in the configuration management tool, and the test automation management tool will execute the scripts, and then it will send an email to the end user. So the third portion is the performance testing. How we do the performance testing is we have a standard set of non-functional requirements. So we will understand the product, analyze the performance requirements. We will understand the performance goals, objective and the parameters, and then we will understand the architecture, and we will understand what kind of integration happening between system, where the user load, end user load will be high, and then we will do tool evaluation. There are many tools available in the market. Which is JMeter, OpenSTA. So we will evaluate the best tool for doing the performance testing, and then we will build the scripts using JMeter, and then we will start executing it for every phase. So first we will do the testing with the 10 concurrent users, and then we will slowly increase it to the how many ever the number our customer requires. So this is how we do it by phase, so that the development team can look at the response time of the application, and then they can improve the code, and then we can keep executing it until we reach the benchmarking numbers. So I just explained what kind of solutions that we have implemented for various customers, and also I would like to take this opportunity to demonstrate about our Aspire's independent verification and validation services. So with respect to functional testing services, we provide end-to-end testing services, and then if our customers is asking do only functional testing, we have a separate service called functional testing, and we do system integration, user acceptance, and regression testing. So we do all kinds of testing services for our customers. With respect to test automation services, we start from consulting our customers for choosing the right test automation tool, so that we can maximize the test coverage. And also we do the test automation script development. If our customer already already identified the test automation tool, we will use their test automation tool. We will implement our test automation framework, and then we will develop the scripts, and then we do test automation execution and maintenance also. So these are all the test automation services that we do, and these are all the delivery models that currently we offer. So when we start working along with the customer, they can take any one of the delivery models. But typically we used to start working with exclusive test execution. If our customer says that no, I'll give all the test cases, you do only test execution, we do test execution, and then slowly we will improve. We will get into the partial project ownership, we'll get into the full project ownership, and we will get into the managed test services. And our value proposition: achieve faster time to market, improved functionality coverage, and improvement in test execution productivity, increased ROI, improved product quality, focus on innovation and growth. These are all the few of the resources that we have. We built test automation ROI calculator. You can visit aspiresys.com test automation ROI, where you can go and enter the required data, and it will give the test automation report. And we also have a QA budget calculator, where you can calculate your QA budget. Say, for example, if you look at this is our QA budget calculator, where you have to enter what kind of time spent for development team, and what kind of time they spent for QA, what kind of defect leakage is there in your product, and what kind of time you spend to fix the defect. So these kind of details, if you give, finally it will give the total cost that you spent on QA and reworking cost. So that using this, you can budget your QA, and you can improve the quality of your product. And so that's all from my end. So if you have any questions, you can send out an email. We would be happy to share our QA budget calculator, and then the white paper on IQA approach and Propel Q.
Thanks, Anand, for the wonderful session. Now let's get on to some questions asked by our registrants. How to test interactive programs like graphical editors, for example, Corel Draw, with the data from a database?
Yeah, we in our experience, we have tested this interactive programs by writing some programs which interacts with the database. We can have a separate call and address this question.
Do you have a test lab? What kind of machines do you have in place?
Yeah, we have a dedicated test lab, wherein we have all kinds of Windows flavors, both desktop and servers. Apart from that, we have Mac machines and all Unix and Linux flavors. So it's a well-built test automation. well-built test lab, which will meet all the customer customer requirements.
Do you have experience in SaaS testing?
Yes, we have well experienced SaaS testing. We have a platform called a SaaS test platform, and we have the expertise in performing the SaaS testing.
How will Aspire handle transition from existing teams?
Okay, we follow various methods to get the KT from the customer. We will start getting a training from our customer. We will look at the existing user manual and help manual. We will do a exploratory testing with the product, understand the product well, and then we will get into testing. So this would take anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks to get the KT from our customer.
We work in documentation, information management software. What expertise do you have in this field?
Okay. So we have worked with document information management software for one of our customers. So I'll address this question separately. It's a content management software. I hope you are talking about content management software, and I can address this in a one-to-one session with you.
How does the QA lifecycle match with SDLC?
Yes, it's a very good question. So if you take any agile development methodology, or if you take the V model, as I mentioned before, we follow the build process mechanism for testing, so that when the developer build the source code, we do the black box functional testing, and when they integrate with the other modules, we do the integration testing. When the complete system is integrated, we do the system testing. Apart from that, as I mentioned before, we work with all the stakeholders extensively and bring the wide coverage in performing in delivering the quality. So our SDLC go well aligned with the SDLC.
How does your QA budget calculator compare with overall quality of the product?
Okay, so our QA budget calculator addresses how much time you spend for quality. So what kind of time frame you spend, after you spend, what kind of defect leakage you get from your customer. So based on that you can plan your quality. Plan your testing activities, and then you can improve the quality.
Testing in technology trends. How is it going to be different in terms of validation and verification, except perhaps writing test cases?
Okay. Yeah. So as I mentioned before, we don't need to really write test cases for each and every functionality. When there is when you need to test the web services, you can build programs to do the testing. So you don't need to have test cases for each and every testing that you do. All you have to do is what kind of scenarios you need to test, what kind of test data you should have.
I think we are come now to the end of the session, and we have few more questions from our registrants, which we will be shortly answering in an email. Thank you all for attending the webinar, and we hope you found the information useful. Please email to us in case you have any other questions. Thank you. Have a nice day.